Om Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Offering myself at the divine lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagawan. Sairam to all of you. Bhagavan gives us many insights in our life, and one such beautiful insight that I have gained recently is while I was reflecting on Brahmananda Vallii, the second chapter of Taittiriya Upanishad of Krishna Yajur Veda. So, I should say that I have been blessed by Bhagavan to be his student as a student in Vrindavan campus in BSc in 1988. And many times Swami used to give us thrice sessions whenever he is in Vrindavan. Every evening we used to stay with Swami from evening 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock almost. And Swami would give many opportunities to all of us as students to ask questions. Sometimes he'll ask students to speak, and sometimes Swami himself will speak. And in my second year BSc, once Swami told all of us that whatever subject we are studying, we should always try to reflect, whether it is physics or chemistry or mathematics, bioscience, commerce, we should reflect what is the spiritual significance. So Swami used to insist a lot that we should always look at every idea at the three levels, that is Adi Bhautikam, the physical level, Adi Daivikam, that is the intellectual level, and Adhyatmikam, that is the spiritual level. And this somehow, went into my heart, and I always wanted to be a teacher. And later Swami gave me an opportunity to serve at his lotus feet in 1995, again giving me the opportunity to be an lecturer at Vrindavan campus. So when I was teaching, I always wanted to connect whatever physics I am teaching with the spiritual aspects as well. So this has given, so always I have been actually doing this part, that is from physics to spirituality. And now with the national education policy, we have courses on Bharati Vijnana Parampara, what we call as Indian knowledge systems. And as part of this, now we have to visit our Indian knowledge systems and then try to see what they are telling us. So the Indian knowledge systems basically consist of the Vedas, Upavedas, and then Prasthana Trayi, that is Brahma Sutras, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita, and then followed by the Shad Darshanas. This is the core of the Indian knowledge systems, and of course after that there are Itihasas and Puranas and all that. But the core of the Indian knowledge systems, or the Praman as we call it, is the Veda. So I was wanting to work on Vaiseshika Sutras, because that is supposed to be talking about the physics and metaphysics of this universe. And in that, Kanada Rishi starts with the 9 dravyas. So that is Prithvi Apaha, Tejo, Vayur Agnihi, Akashaha, then Dik, Kal, Man or Atma. So I was wondering, from where did he get this 9 dravyas? Then on reflection, I saw that the very first line, the Rishi says, Athato Dharma Vyakya Syamaha. So that is, first you should have heard the Shruti. Having heard the Shruti or to the Veda Shravana, now you are deserving to sit in front of the master to discuss about Dharma, to deliberate or do manana. So Shravana he has completed, and now you have come to the Rishi to do manana. And then of course we have to do Nididhyasa so that we can actually realize that particular manana. So this was the process. So I was really wondering, that means he must have got this insight from the Vedas. And so as I was taking a morning walk in Dharmshala where I stay, and suddenly from within the Ananda Vallii first paragraph, I realized contains all this, right? So all the 9 dravyas are available there. So I was wondering, what is it saying actually? So that is what I should have been first, trying to understand, and then move forward to Vaiseshika Sutras. And that journey has been extremely satisfying and fruitful. So Ananda Vallii starts like this. Om Brahma vidapnoti param tadeshabhyuktam satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman Soshnate sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteti tasmadvaye tasmadatmana akashas sambhutah akashadvayuh vayoragnih agnerapah adbhyah prithivim पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधेभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः ऋग्दक्षिणः पक्षः अयमुत्तरः पक्षः अयमात्मा idam puccham pratishtha tadapyesha shloko bhavati. So this is the first paragraph, and in the Mantra Pushpam book by the Ramakrishna Mission, they write on top of this Upanishad Sara Sangraha, and after that starts the Panchakosha Varnana. So this is the abstract or the essence of the entire Upanishad. And the most beautiful thing that struck me was, when I went through the meaning of it, it consists of the description of Brahman and how this universe came into existence, the origin of the universe or the origin of creation of the universe, followed by the origin of life on earth, and finally the origin of the human being and his journey back to Brahman. So it is from Purusha to Purusha. So the capital Purusha, capital P, and this is the small p, who again finally realizes that he is none other than the Brahman himself. So this is a very beautiful and most concise way in which you can explain the entire purpose of creation. And so I thought, it's really wonderful to share it with my students. And then I started making notes on this. So basically how it starts is Brahma vidapnoti param. That is Brahma vid apnoti param. So the knower of Brahman attains param, that is ultimate. So automatically three questions should come to our mind. Who is Brahman? How to know the Brahman? And what is the ultimate that is achieved? So these three questions have to be arised in our mind. So this is a process of Veda. It starts with the Uddesha, that is the final conclusion. And then it starts explaining. So the way you explain it is through Lakshana, that is the characteristics. So then he says, Tadesha Bhyukta, that is, this is how you have to understand the above statement. So in reference to the above statement, this is what is being said. Okay, so what is being said? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So what is Brahman? Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Anantam means Na Antam, no limit at all. In what sense? In the sense of space, time and object. So at all space, there is no space where there is no Brahman. That is, Brahman is omnipresent. There is no time when Brahman is not. Whether past, present or future, at all times Brahman is existing. So Brahman is eternal. And there is no object other than Brahman. Every object is filled with Brahman. That is, Brahman is non-dual. Satyam. Satyam means here it is taken to be as reality. That is the easiness, right? This chair is, this body is, this camera is. So what is common to all of them is the existential reality. That is easiness. And that is what is Satyam. That easiness will again be infinite in space, time and object. So easiness is present. So Satyam is existential reality. And then Jnanam. Jnanam is the knowledge that you gain about any object. So when I look at this camera, the camera is seen by my eyes and it is captured by my mind. And then my consciousness registers it, and therefore I understand this is camera. Right? So vritti plus consciousness. So what is common to all our experiences is the consciousness. right? I can experience the camera, I can experience the chair, I can experience people. So this is what is being experienced as consciousness. And the consciousness again is infinite in nature, in space, time and object. So at all spaces it is there, consciousness is there. In all times consciousness is there. In every object consciousness is there. So this is the beautiful definition of Brahman. So keeping it brief like this, what we understand is, first thing is, who is Brahman? Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So this is what actually Swami is to tell us. So this is basically like, existence absolute, consciousness absolute, and Anantam, actually at the end of Brahmananda Vallii, you will come to know, is actually bliss. So it is bliss absolute. So God's easiest and most beautiful definition is Satchidananda Swarupa. So this is what Swami used to tell us when we were, going to the Gram Seva. Swami used to tell us, chant Om Satchidananda Swarupaya Namaha. And after that, you begin the Seva. So this is the most beautiful definition of Brahman. Then now second question is, how to know the Brahman? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Yo Veda, he is known. The Brahman is known. Nihitam, as inherent. Nihitam means inherent. Guhayam. Guhayam means in the cave. That is in the secret or in the dark space. Where do we actually recognize or experience anything or comprehend anything? It's always within our buddhi. So it is also referred to as Guhayam. This Guha is referred to as the buddhi, because that is where the actual experience or the comprehension happens. So Guhayam Parame Vyoman. It is understood as the all-pervading Vyoman. So what is this Vyoman? Most difficult concept. So Vyoman is actually the Tattva of Akasha. Now what do we mean by Tattva? That is, it is the elemental form of Akasha. Like for example, water. What is the elemental form of water? Hydrogen and oxygen. Right? What is the elemental form of light? For a physicist, we know that it is electromagnetic energy. It is electric and magnetic fields. Right? That's what constitutes light. So, like this, there is an elemental form of Akasha, and that is Parame Vyoman. So, Vyoman, in fact, numerically also from Sankhya, Vyoman is given a symbol 0, whereas Akasha is given 1. So, they both are not same. So, Akasha is the basis, what you are seeing. The basis for Akasha is Vyoman. So, I was going on thinking, from the physical point of view, from the physics point of view, maybe we can think of it as the vacuum, the modern definition of vacuum. And from a spiritual point of view, it is actually supreme love. Because that's what Swami said. This entire universe is in love. It's not that love is in the universe. The entire universe is encapsulated in the love. This is what came recently in one of the Thought for the Days, just 4 or 5 days back. And that's when I realized, this is what is Vyoman. Vyoman is that pure Parama Prema. And so within that, that's why within himself, that is the next line. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyom. So where do you come to know? You will come to know within your own buddhi. And so how do you come to know? That is what it is. Akasha itself is, completely space. And so Guhayam, that means in the secret cave, which is dark. So in that darkness, how do you come to know? That's what Swami used to always say again and again. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastat. Within that darkness, you can see that bright effulgence as thousands of suns' effulgence. And that effulgence is what is experienced by the Brahmavid within his own heart, the spiritual heart. And once you know within, we know, you can know without also. Any concept we understand within, we will see it everywhere. And that is what is Antarbahisya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitah. Once you know him within, you can see him without, everywhere else. So the Brahmavid, having known the Brahman within, will now completely know about the entire universe, all that is there to be known. So once it is known, then what is it that is the supreme or the ultimate that one attains? That is the next line. Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saham Brahmana Vipaschiteti. Brahmana Vipaschiti. Brahmana Vipaschit means the all-knowing Brahman. Along with the all-knowing Brahman, Saha, both, that is both the Brahmavid, the knower of Brahman, and the Brahman together decided to enjoy everything there is. That is one meaning. That is, they are enjoying everything. Sarvan Kaman. And the other way is to look at it is Kaman Sarvan. That is, the Brahman and the Brahmavid desired to become many, to become multifold, to become as this manifest universe and everything that there is. So all these beings that are there in the universe, they have desired. That is what the Purusha desired. That's what Swami said. I have created myself from myself to love myself. That is why this creation is. So this process of this entire creation is because of the desire to become many. Ekoham bahusya. That is what Chandogya Upanishad says. So this is the first three. That is what we have proposed. The proposition is Brahmavid apnoti param. And the three questions raised are answered in these three sentences. So this completes the first part. That why this universe? Right? The entire universe is just Bhagavan's Leela. It is for him to enjoy himself. So that is the universe. Why the universe? Now how the universe came about is the next 5 lines. Right? So, Brahmana vipaschiteti. That completes the first part. Tasmadva, henceforth, started. Ye tasmad atmana akashas sambhutaha. Ye tasmad, keeping this reason, that is to become many, the desire to become many. Ye tasmad atmana, within himself. Akashas sambhutaha, has created the Akasha. Akasha is a very beautiful word. Actually, Akasha means the field that is limited by light. So Akasha is actually light, but we cannot see it. The entire space of light. That's why I said to see that light, we have to go within. Then we will experience it. So Akasha is first created within himself. That is the Paramavyoman. That is within that prema, Parama prema, this Akasha, this entire field of the sport of Leela, Bhagavan's Leela, was created. Akashad Vayuhu. So from Akasha came Vayu. Vayo Ragnihi. From Vayu came Agni. Agnerapaha. From Agni came water. And Apah Prithvi. So there came the earth. So one way of looking at it simply is, these are the Panchabhutas that we see. But these are also actually Panchamahabhutas, which also have individually, meaning at the intellectual level. And that is from a physics point of view, if we see, basically both in Hiranyagarbha Sukta and Asadiya Sukta, already it is mentioned that this universe came forth because Purusha willed it and created temperature within the Prakriti. And that's how this entire universe came into existence. So that temperature was very large, and then there was a big bang, and after that the temperature started cooling down. So as it started cooling down, you had the Vayu, that is gaseous state of matter. Then we had the Agni, which is the plasma state of matter. And then we had Apaha, that is the liquid state of matter. And finally, further cooling down gave us the solid state of matter, which is Prithvi. Prithvi is earth, but it also actually connotates solid state of matter. Apaha is water, but still it is actually representative of all liquid state of matter. So all states of matter that we know today in physics, this is the progression. With the progression, it has been very clearly mentioned in the next 5 lines. So this is the origin of the universe. And of course, if we want more greater detail, we have to go into Hiranyagarbha Sukta, as I said. And then those 10 stanzas, when we actually, open them up, it's a very beautiful description of how this universe came into existence. So coming to the next step, after that, immediately once the Prithvi has come, the next 4 lines explain how the origin of life on earth has happened. Prithivya Oshadayah. From Prithvi came the Oshadi, all the plant life. Oshadebhyo Annam. Annam is not food here. From the plant life came the various forms of life. Annamaya Shariras. That is how we have to look at it. All these are made up of these 5 elements only. These Annamaya Shariras have come out of that Oshadi. Then Annat Purushaha. So out of this, Annamaya Shariras which have come, finally emerged the Purusha. Right? So Purusha is basically having these 5 Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha and Prithvi. All these 5 tattvas are there. Along with it, there is the life principle. And that's what makes Purusha beautiful. So that's why there he says, Annat Purushaha. Then he says Savayesha Purusho Narasamayah. So how do we understand this? Savayesha. Sa here means the material nature. Okay? In its va means in its endeavor. Yesha to fine tune. It has come with Purusha as the Annamaya Rasaha. Annamaya Rasaha. That is basically among all these Annamaya Shariras, Rasamaya, the essence of these Annamaya Shariras has culminated in Purusha. That is why Purusha is signified as the highest form of creation. And that's what is being next said. Tasyedameva shiraha. So here, shiraha means this is my head. That is the simple physical meaning. Tasyedameva shiraha. But after that, he doesn't say, that idam dakshina paksha. He says, now suddenly goes into singular. I am dakshina paksha. I am this right arm. I am uttara paksha. I am this left arm. I am atma. I am this atman. Idam pucham pratishta. This is my tail. So this is the simple physical meaning. But this is what did not, make real sense to me. Because what I am telling is, tasyedameva shiraha. So shiraha is actually noun. If you take it is head. But if you take the adjective, it is the highest, supremest, the summit. So tasyedameva shiraha. That means this Purusha as the Annamaya Rasa is the ultimate, highest form of creation. That is what is the meaning we have to take. Intellectually also we can think of it. Actually from a physiological perspective, why human being became the crest jewel of creation? It's because of the ratio of brain to body being 1:50. This is called a golden ratio in physiology. So this is what gives rise to this perfect human being. No other animal form or Annamaya Shariras, we should say, all Annamaya Shariras, birds, animals and whales, all the various amphibians, everything if you see, the ratio is not always the head is too small compared to the body or the head is too big compared to the body. So the golden ratio is achieved finally in the human being as 1:50. And now you see, intellectual level, you can also think of it. It has a left lobe and it has a right lobe. Because within Shiraha, implied meaning is the brain. So that is what is physiology all about. And now what do this left brain and right brain give? They give you the logical aspects and the emotional aspects. And that is what is another meaning of Dakshina Pakshaha and Uttara Pakshaha. Dakshina means Dakshata, the capability to reason. And Uttara means higher. That is the level of consciousness or the level of awareness of human being is the supremest among all creation. So these two aspects are able to give this unique advantage to the human being to be able to realize that I am Atma. So we don't need to say, actually out of the 4 Mahavakyas, one of the Mahavakya is I am Atma Brahma. And Swami said many times, you don't need to say both. When you say I am Atma, it is also I am Brahma. No need to say 2 times. That's why only the Veda said I am Atma. I am Atma. That's all it says. That means I am Brahma. So the cycle completes. And that's what Idam Pucham Pratishta. Here Pucham means end of something, not tail. If you take the adjective instead of taking the noun. So end of something or culmination of something or consecration. You see, Pratishtha means consecrated, installed. So hence, this has been established. This is another beautiful meaning of Pratishtha. So what has been established is this human being who has realized has become one with the Brahman. So cycle completes. See, we had the unique opportunity of staying at Bhagawan's lotus feet. Not that, we know much, but whatever we have come to know or experience is only because of Bhagawan. And so from that point of view, we put across this. Then he was also like going on wondering, will it really be able to, connect? So then I thought that, whenever we give a meaning to something, we have to look at the context. The meaning develops out of the context. If you look at something, separately, it might give some other meaning. But if you connect the context with it, then is it making the correct meaning? And then we looked at the Panchavarna Koshana, that is Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, which are described in Brahmananda Vallii in the consequent 5 paragraphs. So when you go to Annamaya Kosha, He says, Tasya prana eva shiraha, vyano dakshinah pakshah, apana uttarah pakshah, akasha atma, prithvi pucham pratishtha. So now, see again these 5 words are coming. Shiraha, Dakshinaha, Uttaraha, Atma and Pucham. These 5 words repeat in every kosha. So now, how are these 5 words making, what kind of meaning are they giving? Are they giving now any noun meaning? They are not giving. So that means we have to look at them as adjectives. So then we started looking at what are they saying. And here itself we got stuck. Because, okay, one can understand very easily that prana is the highest form of anna, of the highest form of the food, right? So the physical foods, without physical food, also you can survive by only going to depend on your life breath. Prana is enough to sustain you. But then he says, okay, prana is the shiraha, highest form of the food. And then he says vyana and apana as the right and left aspects, or the right and left arms. So what are they? So basically, again, we looked at it. Vyana is the working aspect of this entire human body. And apana is the downward flowing prana. But actually, a spiritual aspirant tries to make it move upwards. And then it says Akasha Atma. So now what is Akasha here? How is Akasha becoming the central aspect of prana? So then I remembered Swami's discourse. Swami used to say always, Chalo re man, Ganga Yamuna Tir. Swami used to always say, and then Swami used to say, this is the Bruhumadhya is the Akasha Sthana. And Akasha here refers to the space of our mind, the thoughts. See, mind, Swami said, is a collection of thoughts. It's just a bundle of thoughts. You remove the thoughts, there is no mind. So that is the space we are talking now, is the internal space. We are not talking about the external entire space that you are seeing. You are talking about the internal space. So if you want to focus your breath at the Bruhumadhya, then we will be able to control the mind. So now suddenly the concept of mind has come in. Prithvi is earth. Why is Prithvi Pucham? Why is it ending at, Prithvi? So then I realized that Prithvi has another connotation, that is stability. So stability of the mind is the culmination of this particular understanding of this prana as the subtle body of the Annamaya kosha. So then I was wondering, oh, what a beautiful thing I was thinking. And then I remembered what Swami said. So in our final year BSc, after when we were coming to an end, all of us thought we do a gratitude program, right? In the end of our thing. So we all met together and then we prayed to Swami, Swami, please give us an opportunity to express our gratitude to you. So Swami finally said, okay, you can come on Sunday morning. So being a card room boy, I made a card and I wrote a beautiful poem. And then when I got the opportunity inside, I gave it to Swami. Swami read the whole poem, then again reread it and stopped and said, I will do whatever you want me to do. He read it out. Then he told me, let's talk more study. Then he said, that is, I want only one thing from you, that is, let's talk more study. Then he told not only this boy, from all of you, I am wanting only this. So this was the first time actually Swami has given me a direct, upadesha. And so I was obviously very happy. Many times Swami talked about this. But then see, now I am reflecting, Swami never said talk less, study more. See, actually speaking, how you should say it? You should say talk less if you want to reduce this talking. And study more if you want to increase your reading habit. So that is what when we thought of as when we were a student. But then afterwards, when Swami's discourse we kept hearing, Swami said, study for study. Then slowly it occurred to me that Swami is actually telling, let's talk here. That is, our thoughts should reduce. And study for study. That is, you have to study your mind so that it reaches steadiness. So that is what is this Akasha. That's what now I understood it as Akasha Atma and Prithvi Pucham Pratishta. So for that, what is the way to control the mind? It's always through the prana. So Swami gave many beautiful, Chinnakathas in which he explained how you should focus on the breath so that you can steady the mind. So this is the idea of the first paragraph. Then when you start thinking in the second paragraph, that is when you go to Pranamaya Kosha, there now final paragraph at the end of the paragraph it says Tasya Yajureva Shiraha Rig Dakshina Pakshaha Samottara Pakshaha Adesha Atma Atharvange Rasapucham Pratishtha. So now you are coming to talk about Vedas. We are coming into the Pranamaya, and in the Pranamaya, the manas, that is mind body is the central aspect of it. In the mind body, what are the various things? Yajur is Shira, and Rig is the right arm, Sama is the left arm, Adesha is the Atma, and Atharvange Rasapucham Pratishtha is this is the basic physical meaning. So if you look at it as a body, and so this is the head, this is the tail, these are the arms, and this is the center. This is the basic physical meaning. Now, I realized that, here Adesha is coming. Adesha is what? Adesha meaning actually is an indication. It gives you a direction. And that is what Swami is to say. Guru always shows you Guri. That is, he gives you the direction, indication. And so, that's what actually Shirdi Baba, Sai Satcharita, when I was reading, I really enjoyed this part. One of Shirdi Baba's devotees, he will be pressing Baba's feet and he will be chanting Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So Baba asks, what are you chanting? What are you reading? What are you going on murmuring? He says, Swami, I am just chanting Bhagavad Gita shloka. Chant it aloud, Swami says. So then he chants it aloud. Tadviddi pratipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tatvadarshanaha. So what is the meaning? Shirdi Baba asks. So he says, Baba, when someone approaches the Guru and with sincerely, serves them and with eagerness questions about the Brahmajnana, then the Guru, out of his compassion, will give him the jnana so that he will understand the tattva darshana. He will get the darshan of the tattva, that is the actual principle of the Brahman. So then Shirdi Baba asks, can you break it and read it as, upadekshanti te ajnanam? He says, yes, Baba, it is possible. From Sanskrit, we can actually break it like that. That is what Shirdi Baba says. The Guru can only tell you what is ajnana, not the jnana. When you keep on removing the ajnana, finally you will have the darshan of the actual jnanam. Okay, so this is how the Guru gives you an direction, an indication as to how you can understand. So when I was thinking about this, then I realized, it's a very beautiful thing. Now actually it is going more and more inward journey. And then I realized, what is it that is actually being said? Then I remembered this beautiful, again an incident that happened in Trai. Swami suddenly asked us, what do you need to see? And so you are all thinking, Swami, eyes. What if I put off the lights? If it is dark, can you see? No. So then, yes, Swami, we need also light. Okay, light is there, eyes are there. But if there is no life, then can you see? Eyes are open, light is there, but you cannot see. So prajna is also important. The prajna shakti is important. That's what Swami said. And later on, sometime much later, after I became a lecturer, Swami also mentioned once that, you see, how can you see your face? One cannot see one's face. Very difficult, right? If you want to see your face, you need a mirror. Or you go to a pond and see your reflection. That's the only way you can see your face. No one can see one's own face. So, that's when Swami said, see, if the pond is dirty and if there are too many waves, then your reflection is not clear. You cannot see clearly. Similarly, if you have a mirror and if the mirror is going on moving in front of you, you cannot see your reflection clearly. So, mirror has to be steady. Not only mirror has to be steady, it has to be clean. Similarly, you have to wait for the pond to settle down, and the dust also, the entire mud also should settle down. Then the pond becomes pure and steady. Then you can see your reflection. But of course, as I said now, even to see your reflection, you still need light and you need the prajna also. So it is not a simple process. So first thing, So how do I see myself? That is a question. To see your face itself, you need all these things. So how do I see my true reality? So this is where Swami used to say, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha. It is the mind which acts as a mirror. It's only, I said in the beginning also, that only in the mind that you can comprehend. So this manas has four aspects to it. That is manas, buddhi, chitta and ahankara. So manas aspect has to remain steady. And the second aspect is buddhi. Buddhi is what requires illumination. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. That is the adesha we get from the Guru during our Upanayana. That is Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So this is the adesha. As I said, of course, the adesha is actually given to each disciple by the master as per the need of that particular disciple. Okay. And most often it is an indication as to which direction you have to look at it, so that you are at the right, you are obtaining the right knowledge and you are not stuck at the wrong knowledge. And that is what actually happens in the third Upanishad of Taittiriya Upanishad, that is Bhrigu Valli, where Bhrigu goes to his father Varuna and asks for Brahmajnana. And then he says, think about, from where are you getting the thoughts? From where are you getting the speech? Into which these will again absorb, and go and do tapas. So he does tapas and comes back and says, I understood. It is all food. Because of food only all this comes. He says, go back and do tapas again. So he's only giving indication, no, go further, deeper. So again comes back and says prana. Then he says, go back. Then he says, manas is everything. He says, go back. Then he says, vijnana is everything. He says, go back. Finally, he doesn't come back because he has reached the ananda, the ultimate knowledge. So when you neti, when you keep on removing what is not, then automatically you shine forth. So this is the adesha. Adesha is the Guru Upadesham. Each is individually to each and every disciple. The Guru gives as per the needs of that disciple. So now you see this, it gives more sense. Right? Yajureva Shiraha. That is, Yajur Veda contains all the aspects of worship or sacrifice. Rig Dakshina Pakshaha. Rig is basically the Jnana Kanda. Samottara Pakshaha. It is the Upasana Kanda. And Adesha Atma. This is the main central aspect of that. And where it should reach to Adarva Angirasa. Adarva Angirasa Pucham Pratishta. The culmination is in practice. Because Atharva Veda is all about the practice of all this knowledge in day-to-day life. That is Nididhyasam. So it has to reach. The knowledge that is acquired has to be practiced. This is what Swami said. Swami is the most and precise procedure to obtain an insight. Swami said, knowledge should be practiced to transform into skill. If knowledge is not practiced, it gets skilled. And then what happens? If it is skilled, you get a balance of mind. If it is skilled, then you lose balance of mind. Then you become completely outward and you're always in a state of disturbance. And the entire society also is disturbed. So knowledge needs to be practiced to become a skill, and the skill has to be perfected to achieve a state of balance. That is what we call as a steady mind, right? Or a equilibrium state. Then the insight comes. And what is that insight, Swami says? The insight is that you are the Atman and not this body. And this is what Swami says. So then the body consciousness goes and the Atmic consciousness develops. But for that, we need to practice. So the knowledge is to be practiced. And that is what is Atharvangiras Pacham. So now you go more deeper. So we have covered manas, it should be steady. Buddhi, it needs that illumination through the adesha of the Guru. Then comes the next, that is you go into Manomaya Kosha. Here he says the Tasya Shraddhaiva Shiraha Rutam Dakshinah Pakshah Sathya Muttarah Pakshah Yoga Atma Mahapucham Pratishtha. So you see, there are beautiful words in each of them, which actually gives us the insight. And here the insight is, that second one I told you Adesha. First one I told you Akasha is the Akasha Atma. That is what gave us the insight. Second one Adesha Atma. That is what gave us the insight. That the Buddhi needs the Adesha and it needs illumination. Here Yoga. Yoga is what? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodhakaha. So it is the purification of the Chitta. Swami used to say that all sadhana is for purification of the Chitta. Chitta Shuddhi. For this only we do all sadhana. And it is because otherwise there is no need for sadhana. You are already truly the one and only one. right? But to be able to experience it, to enjoy it, the chitta should be pure. And for that only, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Dedicated practice. So the practice also has to be dedicated and very, very focused practice. With devotion and dedication, we have to practice the Guru Upadesham. And we have to constantly keep on in our awareness these two aspects, that is Rutam and Satyam. Rutam is nothing but Dharma. That is the cosmic order. So Satya Dharma, these are our human values which we have to constantly practice along with Shraddha. Then we will be able to reach yoga. That is, Swami said, union with God, Yuj. And in 1992 Summer Course Discourse, Swami mentioned that yoga is constant integrated awareness. And when this word I read in the, when I was reviewing the literature for all what Swami said about this, I found this. Then it immediately remembered a beautiful experience that Swami gave me in 2009. So I had gone during summer, actually with the purpose of visiting Kailash Manas Sarovar. But unfortunately, of course, I did not get the Chinese visa. But still, Swami gave me the experience. And that is the real grace and blessings of Bhagawan. He's so kind to all of us. What happened was, we went to Pashupanath temple and Manasa Devi, everything, and then came around 1 o'clock in the night and slept. Morning 5 o'clock, as usual, because of my body clock, I got up and did my Supravatam, Omkaram Supravatam. And then again I slept. Then Swami came in my dream. Em kavalra neeku? Swami asked me. What do you want? I said, Swami, mi padali andu bhakti unte chalu, Swami. I just need devotion to your lotus feet, Swami. Nothing else I need. Then Swami said, yes, go. So Swami gave me Padnamaskar. I took Padnamaskar. And when I got up after taking Padnamaskar, Swami mentioned 3 words with distinct gaps. They are Ekagrata. Then Swami gave a pause. Then he said Atma Tattvam. Again Swami gave a small pause. And then finally Swami said Aikyata. And that's it. I got up. My dream is finished and I was feeling very elated and very, very happy. And one of my friends, 5 of us went for that yatra, who was sleeping next to me, Sangamesh. He got up suddenly. He also slept at 1 o'clock. And he asked, sir, Shastri sir, you are, glowing with joy. I said, yeah, Swami came in my dream. Sir, what happened, sir? I said, no, sleep, no, afterwards I'll tell you, don't worry. No, sir, I want to listen, sir. And he got up and sat down. So I told him, this is what happened. Sir, what did you understand, sir? I also didn't think, because I just had the dream and I got up from the dream. I said, I think Swami is giving me a step-by-step procedure. Swami said, Ekagrata, that is concentration, intense focus. Then Swami said, Atma Tattvam. I think Swami is telling me that you should contemplate that you are the Atman and not this body. And then finally Swami said, Aikyata. That is, not only within you, the same Atman is also there in everyone. Try to constantly see that. So basically, if you see Ashtanga Yoga, that is what it is. Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. But Swami gave a very simplified, steps. What should you contemplate on and how you have to naturalize it in your day-to-day life. Constantly, remembering that the same Atman which is there is also there in everyone. That is what is Dharma. See, Sathya is truth. Truth is basically known to all of us. It's very easy, right? Because you see this light is there, this mic is there, computer is there, right? Fan is there, AC is there. But all of them work only because electricity is there. It's as simple. So we might see so many bodies. I am speaking, now you are listening. But what is responsible for your listening? What is responsible for my speaking? For all of them, the same truth is. Even as a physicist, if you see, we have understood that everything is made up of molecules. All molecules are made up of atoms. All atoms are made up of nuclei. All nuclei are made up of neutrons and protons. That is what I teach. And all neutrons and protons are made up of quarks. Then where is the difference? In all of these beings that you are seeing, the same atoms and nuclei and neutrons, protons and quarks are there. Where is the difference coming from? So that is the knowledge we are gaining, but we are not practicing that knowledge. We are not trying to see that unity. This is what Abdul Kalam used to say. Every morning, once in a while, we should go up in the plane. So as you go, your plane takes off. Slowly the differences between human beings will vanish. Then the differences between the houses will vanish. Then the differences between villages will vanish. Then the differences between countries will vanish. That is what is the height or the flight that we have to take. The flight in the meditation that we have to take is to remember this truth. And then that meditation that we did in the morning in Supravatam, where we remembered this truth, has to percolate through the day. That's why we have Sandhya Vandanam at all Sandhyas. So that constantly we are remembering that yes, the same truth is there. So therefore I behave myself in such a way that I don't hurt others. Right? Because why will I hurt my finger? So when I know that the other person is myself, why will I hurt him? So that is what is the dharma. Dharma is, that's why Satyam nasti paro dharma. To practice the truth of oneness is the highest form of dharma. And that is Rutam. And so this process, this dedicated practice will lead to yoga. That is constant integrated awareness. The awareness that you are the Atman and the integration that the same Atman is there in everybody and constantly progress. Ekagrata. So Swami in simple 3 steps, 3 words, he gave us a procedure as to how to reach this constant integrated awareness. That is Yoga Atma. Mahapucham Pratishtha. So where does it culminate? It culminates in Mahat. Mahat is that intelligence principle. And where the Buddhi is. Right? Buddhi Tattva. That is where the Mahat Tattva. So Mahat is considered as the first big thing that has appeared in this creation at the beginning. When Purusha inspired the Prakriti. Okay. So that principle you are able to now visualize within. So you see, the Indian knowledge system of understanding something is not an outward process. It is an inward process. So next we go into Vijnanamaya Kosha. And there the central body is the Anandamaya. Ananda is Priyam, Tasya Priyame Vashiraha, Modo Dakshina Prakshaha, Pramoda Uttara Pakshaha, Ananda Atma, Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. So now you see, this is where you will get established in Brahman. So now what is the thing? See, we have got 3 things. Akasha, that is steadiness we have reached, Prithvi Pucham. Mind has become steady. Buddhi has been illumined. Chitta has been completely purified. Ahankara has to go. Manas is 4 things, right? Mind has got 4 aspects. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Ahankara means Swami said, Aham Akaram. Thinking that this body is me. This false identification with the body is Ahankara. When that body consciousness is lost and you develop Atmic consciousness, then you will reach Ananda. And that Ananda, when it is established, you become one with the Brahman. So what is it? Swami says. Again, very beautiful. Swami said, this is the concept of Jnatum, Drashtum and Praveshtum. So Swami says, Priya. Priya is you get the joy, a joy that, okay, mangoes have come in the market. See, mangoes have come in the market here. They have come from somewhere, from Guntur or from Rajahmundry, right? All the way from there, they have come to Puttaparthi market. And now, does it give you the experience? No. You have to go to the market and then we look at all of them are mangoes, but then we, choose certain mangoes. And then we bring it home and then, so choosing the mangoes gives you a different level of joy. That is a moda. Then you cut it and enjoy it. That gives you the pramoda. So what Swami said is, see, now we are, for us Swami is our favorite God. One can choose any favorite God, right? Because it's very difficult to see the formless and enjoy it in the beginning. Of course, some people who are into the path of jnana, they will straight away go to the formless God. But those for us who are like devotees, for us, choosing a favorite God, a form of God is very important. So for us, let us say Swami. So we want to, purchase one picture of Swami for our home. So what we will do? All of them are pictures of Swami. Right? But we will go to the studio and then we will see through all photos of Swami and then choose one photo. And then we get it printed. So this chitta is like a white paper, pure white paper. And when Swami's form gets printed on it, now you cannot separate the paper and the form. They both become one. That is what Swami said. The heart is a single sofa. You have to give it to God, and once God establishes himself on it. So if you look at it from the simplest point of view, coming to the market is samipyam. They have reached very close to us. Right? Going there and becoming, one with it and, interacting with it. That's what we got the opportunity. We came close to Swami. Then we got the opportunity to interact with him. That is salokyam. Then constantly thinking of him, constantly reflecting on his message, we reach that Sarupyam. And finally, Ananda, that is the Sayujya that we achieve in the end, which will establish us in that Brahma Tattva. That is Brahmapucham Pratishtha. So, this is how slowly we lose our individual consciousness and we lose ourselves in the Leelas of the Lord and become one with His Leela and enjoy His Leela as a constant part of our life. And so, with this beautiful insight that Swami gave, I felt extremely thrilled and very, very satisfied. And I understood that the actual process of Indian knowledge systems is an inward process. And through knowing within, we know without. And so, this is how Swami, being with Swami, this blessing is I have received. All these things Swami told, many years back. But now, when we are reflecting on this particular thing, slowly they're all coming together to make sense to me and enjoy Swami's beautiful Leela. How he gives us this insight into the inner spiritual aspects of this beautiful mantra. So, I thought, I should offer it to Swami. Suddenly, we got this opportunity to come to Puttaparthi for Buddha Purnima. And I thought, what a wonderful opportunity. And I'm thankful to all the Radio Sai for giving me this opportunity to share this insights that I have gained by Swami's blessings at this holy precincts of Prasanthi Nilayam, where, Swami said, Puttaparthi mana Puttanillu. This is our home. Thank you, Swami. Thank you. Sai Ram.